Hi, hey, hello. This is take number 2 because I want this video to be raw and from the heart, but I want it to be constructive as well too. In the last video, I was just rambling. So we're gonna give this another go in hopes that I don't do that again. As you guys can tell from the title of today's video, I want to go over body image issues, and I'm more so going to be speaking from a place of experience, going over the thought process that I have had over the last 28 weeks that I have found to be helpful during my struggles with body image. So this isn't meant to be advice or you do this and don't do that. This is just me sharing what works for me, and you can take it for what it is, and hopefully you can have a positive takeaway from it if you are struggling. So yes, I am officially 28 weeks pregnant, and physically it has been a really great journey so far. I have been able to maintain my workout routine. The first trimester felt like a breeze in comparison to other women. I don't know if it's because I am having a boy. I have heard that a lot of individuals who have boys tend to have easier pregnancies during the first trimester in comparison to those who have girls. I haven't seen any research with that, but anecdotally, that is something that I have noticed. So up until this point, yes, physically, things have been going very well. Mentally, mentally, it has been a battle. It has felt like a battle on a day-to-day basis, with just me having to constantly put in additional work and strategies and just effective coping mechanisms so that way I can try to maintain some mental sanity. Because if I don't, I find that I can get very much in my head very quickly. And I think it's just due to the fact that the changes that you see in your body are very dramatic, and they are very, very fast. Like 27 weeks in comparison to 28 weeks, I feel like I just completely popped, and it came out of nowhere. And people noticed too. And while you can't control people's language, it can sometimes, be a little upsetting. Like I had somebody the other day say to me like, "Oh, you only have a couple months left, right?" I'm like, "No, I have 3." And they're like, "Oh, well, I thought you only had 2 months left." And I've never been one to be sensitive towards people's language, and I would never expect anybody to change their language. They mean no harm by that comment, but when your emotions feel a little more unstable than normal, little things like that can feel more triggering than what they typically would when you're in a more emotionally stable state. So that, coupled with me noticing the changes so quickly, it can at times cause me to go down the rabbit hole where some days it just feels like I'm an emotional wreck. And I wanted to share this because I don't see a whole heck of a lot of other fitness coaches really sharing the in-depth emotional roller coaster that they go through. It's more so just the social media highlight reel. And while I think it's important for us, myself included, to fixate on the positive and not hyperfixate on all of the negative that comes with it, I also want to be realistic and just speak from a place that I know other women are in as well right now. So like I said, my hopes of me just being raw and sharing this with you all is it allows you to know that you're not alone, but hopefully it gives you some tools that I have found to be helpful, so that way you don't have to spiral out of control. Because when I notice that I have a negative thought about myself, about my pregnancy, or about my body, I have to catch it instantly and redirect that thought. Otherwise, I will stay in that negative pool for a very long time, and it's hard to pull myself out. So I think for me, that has been the first thing that has been my anchor to trying to maintain some stability mentally and maintain some logic. Self-awareness. self-awareness. And this is not easy to do, but being able to catch yourself when you initially have that negative thought where it's like, whoa, my body is big right now. Even just something as little as that. I need to catch myself in that moment and redirect it into something positive. So if I notice like, whoa, my tummy is big right now, or whoa, my stomach's getting in the way, if I don't redirect that, I'll continue going down an even more negative pool where it's just like a cascade where it's like, oh, well, you're fat and you're this, you're that. And I don't really allow myself to go there, so I don't have any additional examples, but I've heard other women call themselves a fat pig. And it's like, you're pregnant, you're building a baby, and you're putting your baby down when you put yourself down like that. So I won't allow myself to go that far. I have once or twice, I'm not perfect, but as soon as I say to myself, like I catch myself in a negative thought where it's like, whoa, you're really big right now, I will try my best to flip the script into something positive by saying, well, you asked for this. You wanted to have a baby. And I'll even go as far as to put myself back into those moments where every month when we were trying and I would get my period and I would just cry, so upset because I wasn't pregnant that month and I wanted nothing more in that moment to be a mother. So I asked for this, and this is part of the process. This is part of the journey. And even just like pulling myself back into that moment, like taking 2 minutes to close my eyes and remember what it felt like to cry when I got my period because I wanted to be a mom so bad, it instantly allows all those negative thoughts and that cascade that would have happened to disappear. So that's the first thing that has been very helpful and effective for me, is self-awareness. And even for some moms out there, like even I've had some friends call themselves saying that like, oh my gosh, I'm so fat right now. If you're having a daughter, would you want your daughter to say that about herself? No, of course not. That probably just breaks your heart to think about that. This is me trying to tell you what to do, but in those moments, this is what I say to myself, so that way I don't continue down that path, that negative path. I think that's the biggest thing that has helped me, is flipping the script the moment that you have those negative thoughts. What else has helped me? I've also been implementing a lot of somatic techniques. If you Google just somatic techniques or somatic therapy, there are some really great strategies that you can implement, such as body scans, guided meditation, grounding techniques, all of these really, really helpful things where you get more connected to your body. And I think that it will be obviously very helpful during labor as well too. But I have found that in the last couple of months here that I can't think my way out of overthinking. So if I do end up down that cascade where I just feel really uncomfortable in my body, very insecure in my body, I find that trying to think my way out of it with my first example there, it doesn't always get me there when I'm really down that negative pool and I have fallen down and it's hard to get back up. Somatic techniques have been very, very beneficial. So doing body scans, guided meditations, grounding techniques, go Google and YouTube some of those techniques. It has been very, very, very helpful. So there's like box breathing techniques. There's the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method. So that's where you focus on your 5 senses. That has been really, really helpful, just with taking you out of your head and focusing on something else in your environment, paying attention to the senses around you. It really calms you down in those moments where you're just feeling like you're having an emotional breakdown. Those 2 things have been very, very helpful. So in moments where you can catch yourself instantly have that negative thought, that's where you want to flip the script with your thought process. If you go down the negative rabbit hole too far, I find for myself, I can't think my way out of it, and I got to implement more actual somatic techniques. So getting more in touch with my body, and that has helped tremendously. And I know not everybody has this support, but lastly, I'll say is my husband. Oh man, he has helped me tremendously, and I'm very, holy, those pregnancy emotions, right? He has been really incredible. Why are you crying about this? I don't know if we'll keep the crying part in, but having his support has helped tremendously. And the only way that I'll like get what I need from him is if I just communicate with him. In the beginning, I would be upset and try to go through the motions by myself. And it would just cause a fight, right? Because he doesn't understand. He'll just see that I'm dealing with something upsetting and I wasn't communicating the greatest. But in moments where I do communicate with him, where it's like, hey hun, like I'm feeling like really insecure today. And just talking to him about it, it's so helpful. So I understand that not everybody has a partner and there's some single moms out there, but if you do have your partner with you and you have their support, communicate with them. Don't expect them to be a mind reader. They have no idea what you are going through. So don't be afraid to tell them. I tell my husband, I'm like, whew, I'm having one of those days right now physically where this is happening. Or if I'm having a body image issue day or a moment of insecurity, I'll talk to him about it versus getting quiet and expecting him to be a mind reader. That doesn't work. Don't do that. Communicate with your partner, communicate with your spouse, and you know, they can really be there for you if you let them in. So having said that, 28 weeks, we have 12 weeks left. I am hopeful to be documenting a little bit more here on YouTube. I'm a little bit better on Instagram, so make sure you guys follow me there. If you found this to be helpful, hang around here as well too. I will continue to share what I've been going through, and I know that this was not a typical video that I typically share on YouTube, but I really do hope that it was helpful for somebody. So at the end of the day, if you're going through something similar, just know that you're not alone, but also know that staying there and, you know, justifying like, oh, it's normal to feel emotional. It's normal to feel insecure. Yes, of course it is, but you don't have to stay there. This can still be a beautiful, happy journey. We just have to be a little bit more strategic with how we manage our thoughts and manage our emotions. It's a lot more work than it typically is for me anyways. I feel I definitely am much more emotionally stable than what I have been experiencing over the past few months here. But if anything, it has been a really great opportunity for me to just further strengthen my ability to control and manage my emotions as best as possible. Believe me, it's not perfect. All right, that's it. I'll stop rambling now. Bye, you guys.